But the most important thing is how the child behaves.
When you started teaching,
I'm totally unbiased in my class. That you cannot be monotonous in teaching.
in the age of internet,
Of course, technology is helping us.
to make your education a better place.
Activities should be carried out.
What do you feel the new generation is thinking about the future?
You need to tell your child that how you can check the authenticity of the material.
You have such a long experience of teaching, and now you are the principal of the school. So what difference you feel as a teacher and now as a principal? Good morning, everyone. Today we have with us Principal Ritu Bishnoi from New Yashoda Public Schools. And today we are talking about the influence of education and books and the value they carry in our lives. So, welcome to the interview, ma'am.
Thank you.
And we'll start with some generic question. How you decided to become the principal? Like, what thing came in your life that made you decide that I want to become a teacher, a principal of the students?
Especially if I talk about being a teacher, it was influence of my teachers. And especially I had the privilege of being taught by two remarkable teachers. And one was my maths teacher, Mr. Bhaskaran. He was a very simple person. And his methods of teaching were also very simple. He simplified even the complex concepts.
Okay.
Moreover, he was unbiased. And that is the thing that I like the most.
Okay.
And second was my political science teacher, Mr. Kujan. His teaching methods were also quite different. He used to give us projects and they made it compulsory for us to explore the libraries.
Okay.
And he gave us projects. For them, we had to take interviews also. We had to look out for resources outside the school. And those things helped me. These two teachers, they influenced me and teaching became my passion.
So, when you started teaching, were there some methods you used which you have learned from your respective teachers?
Yes. First of all, I'm totally unbiased in my class.
Okay.
The thing that matters to me is the behavior of a child. So his score doesn't matter to me. If child is not doing well, I try to help out. But the most important thing is how the child behaves. So I'm unbiased while teaching. I treat all my children equally. And second essential thing is that I too also plan my lessons beforehand. I do plan activities wherever possible. So where I can ensure that the children are indulging in their self-learning, where I give them something to find information, where they can apply their knowledge. So that is very essential. So when we assist a child in their learning, so that makes them more confident and concepts become more clear.
So, like previously, you must be knowing that we were focusing a lot of things on theoretical knowledge. Like theory-wise, we were learning a lot of things in our age and those kind of things. But today, I see and I feel that a lot of things have become towards practical approach of lot of, as you mentioned, that you also focus on activities and those things. So, what do you think is the change which has come into play for the teacher to teach the students in a more practical application? Like what things and activities they are more involving and how they are actually benefiting the students?
See, the most important thing is that you cannot be monotonous in teaching.
Absolutely.
You need to use different kinds of methods for teaching. Only then you can make your teaching more productful. Because all children, they have different learning styles. And you have to cater to the needs of all the students. So for that, the teacher needs to pre-plan the lessons. Not only plan, but re-plan also sometimes. And different strategies have to be kept in mind. And more importantly, why are we educating the child? Because he becomes a fruitful citizen. He is a capable citizen who can give back to the society. And that can only be possible when we also tell them the implications and how this knowledge which they are acquiring in the school will help them in the future. So we need to give them a ground where they are able to explore themselves. Because if they are able to explore themselves, they'll know about their passions and they can easily pursue their dreams.
Absolutely. So like you have such a long experience of teaching, and now you are the principal of the school. So what difference you feel as a teacher and now as a principal?
The first thing is I miss students. I do take a class, but I'm not that much interactive with them as I was as a teacher. But of course, those things which I was not able to do for them, which I thought would benefit, those things I can discuss with my teachers and I can make sure that they benefit out of it.
Okay.
So both the jobs have their own charm.
Benefit and
Yes.
So like as we were talking about dealing with the students, so with time, as you know, the generation changes, the approach of teaching changes. When students were doing some naughty activities which are not good for them, or then there was some other kind of approach which was being done at that time. But today the time have changed, and students also have other means of creating nuisance or those kind of things in the classroom. So what do you think are the new methods being used by teachers and the administrator to tackle these students and try to make them understand what wrong they are doing and how to become a better student? So what kind of approach is being done for the new generation which has come up?
The first and foremost thing is that we need to have a student-teacher relationship. So teachers, the school, the management also needs to know what are the needs of the students. We need to understand them. What is the reason why they are behaving in such a manner? That also we need to understand. It is not that the child is always trying to create a problem because he's a problematic child. He might be seeking attention. So it depends from child to child, and the way to deal with them will also depend on that. See, first is, as teachers, we should know each and everything about our child. And teachers should discuss their progress. They should discuss if they are facing any problem with their families. Counseling is the best thing that can be done. Punitive punishments, they never give good results. And we don't even believe in giving them. So first of all, we need to counsel a child. And sometimes when a child is misbehaving in the class, 1 or 2 times we can ignore also. Might be he's trying to seek attention. Or whenever there are some naughty students, give them some activity, engage them. Because they are sometimes restless. They cannot sit for long in a class. So there are different strategies, but we need to be patient. We need to be empathetic. That is very essential.
Very essential.
Only then we can deal with such
things. So I feel like the parents, how they deal with their children, that is an important thing, that how a student grows up into and what they become. So previously, as you must be knowing, the parents had a different kind of approach in our generation, and they were not focusing on a lot of things, maybe a holistic growth for the student, or they were not able to relate to the students that much, and they had a different kind of approach towards the teacher to deal with their student, their child. And today's parents, I observe, have become more empathetic and more open to understanding the students. So what do you feel like when you were as a teacher, you were dealing with the parents, and now as a principal, you have to deal with the new kind of parents? So what do you think the change in parents have come up while dealing with the students as the generation is progressing?
See, I am also a parent.
Absolutely.
So it is not the question of me being a teacher or a principal or a parent. See, basically what happens is both school and family and community as a whole is responsible for the child. What values we inculcate in a child, from where is the child getting these values from? From the family, from the school, from the community. So what kind of culture are we taking forward? How are we behaving? What are our habits? What are our values? So we need to introspect. We need to know how we need to behave, what values we want our child to inculcate. So we should set examples. So if we set examples, nothing would go wrong with the students. So it is not that how you deal with parents or what set of parents. Previously, a community was small and teachers were respected quite a lot. And at that time, the parents used to leave it totally on the teachers. But that time, the parents used to live in joint families most of the time. And when they were living in joint family, the children, they were growing together. So anybody could say anything to them. So nobody felt bad. And now we have nuclear families. And parents are busy. It is not that they are empathetic towards their students, but they are becoming more possessive. So that possessiveness has to be checked. They need to know what is good for the child. They need to work along with the teachers. They need to work along with the school.
Wow.
It is only the collaboration between the three that can help in the development of the child. Because school, teachers and the management and the parents all together can work for the development of a child.
Okay. So, like you mentioned about the working together and making a child. So, I feel that a lot of new things have come up in the country, and as we progress as an economy in the country, new fields have opened up as a career for a lot of students. Like previously there were some restrictive fields, 2-3 fields we could name, and we have to go and think about those only. But today a lot of new fields have opened up. So what do you feel as a teacher and as a principal, new things should be introduced or have been introduced by you in your school to make your students prepare for the future in a better way, and they could, explore more field, and they could become in getting some other skills as well. So what approach as a teacher or as a principal you feel you have done or you have been planning to do and execute in your school or students around?
See, all schools have their own challenges, their weaknesses and strengths. So what a school can provide, it depends upon that. How much resources they have, it depends upon that. So basically when we talk about the coming age and the new occupations that are coming up, we can make our children aware about them. We can tell them what subject combinations or what activities they can indulge in to know where their passion lies. So we need to have activities planned in the school, and activities should be planned in such a manner that we cater to needs of almost all students, and we are able to provide a variety of activities, so which let them explore the world. So that we can do. Of course, we are doing also, we can do the counseling. That's what we are doing now also. So rest activities, I would say that it depends from school to school. We can indulge in.
So that you feel will help the students a lot. So like the new careers have come up in our lives, we also have new technologies to teach a lot of things to students. So what do you feel and about those new tech which has come into play, right? Like these days we have a lot of videos, we have a lot of graphical representation of the concepts, typical concepts which generally teacher used to explain by hand or by the book. But today we have a lot of new ways to explain those things. So how do you feel about this technology coming into play in education, and what do you think are the advantages or some disadvantages they carry for the students which are learning the things in new ways?
See, technology is of course helping us out. As I told you that all children have different learning methods. So their styles are different. So to match different styles and to cater to the needs of all the students, we need to have different methods incorporated together. So for that, technology of course helps, because some children learn by doing, some by watching. The visual helps them to understand, some just by listening. So when we combine all these skills, we make the class more interactive, and the attention span of the child also increases. So of course it is helping, and as we have also introduced coding in the school, so that is also helping. So of course technology is helping, but we should not misuse it. For everything we should not depend upon technology. So that we have to see how much, because most of the time parents do complain if online tests are given, or for some project work they have to use the internet. So but that parents have to make their child understand. So it is not that only the school can discipline the child. What kind of routine the parents are following, how much time they are spending with the child, what kind of activities the child is indulging in. Are they aware of it? and are they encouraging their child to have some hobbies? So it all depends upon that. As I told you, it is collaboration. It's not that the entire burden can be on the school or family. We all have to work together. So if we make good use of technology, of course it is good.
So, like with this new technology coming up, you might have observed that there are a lot of distractions happening. There is mobile phone, there are iPads, there are TV, there is OTT platforms which are coming up, there is social media, of course. So, what suggestions or things you can give us, the ways which new upcoming students or their parents should do in their life to keep their child or myself away from distractions and focus on learning and education? Because I feel, and a lot of parents I talk with, they have a lot of concern with the distractions. Like if their child is involved in some learning, like they have given an iPad to learn about some concepts, but suddenly as they go away, they see that they are switching to maybe some social media platform or video platform, and getting distracted very easily. Like the new generation which is coming up, it is very easily distracted by a lot of things. There are a lot of things to distract also, like which we didn't had. So this problem which has come up with new tech, how you think people should deal with this, that their child or a student himself or herself can become better at it?
Okay, from where does the child learn? From his surroundings?
Absolutely.
From the environment?
Absolutely.
Who's there in the environment?
Their parents,
Family,
then
friends, school.
yeah.
So we have to first ensure how we behave, what kind of values and what kind of activities we are being involved in. For example, if I open a book in my free time and I'm reading, if my child sees me reading, he will also be interested in reading. But what do you find in homes? On dining table, 4 people are sitting with 4 phones and they're busy in their phone. So when you are not doing it, how can you expect your child to do it? So first we need to set examples and we need to be very patient. Nowadays, there is no patience. All are lacking patience.
Absolutely.
Parents, just they think that, oh, he's disturbing me, let me give the mobile or tab. So this is our fault, it is not the child's fault. So what kind of environment we are giving to the child, he's adapting that kind of environment, those kinds of habits which we are indulging in. And we are not being open with our children. We don't talk to them about different things. And that's why they go and switch to these sites where things are easily available. And then there are lock systems. Parents should keep a watch on their child. So that is also important.
Like you must have heard a lot of kids lock thing has come up. So how you think is useful? Like is it actually useful? Or like you must know that if we say no to something to a student, he or she tries to do that. So if that person sees a kid's lock on, how do you think, like, is it beneficial or is it harming? Like, what are your views on that thing?
So that's what I told you, be open with your kids, talk to them. That is essential. So where is that curiosity? Where does it come from? When you're not allowed to do something. So that's what I'm telling, be frank, discuss different things with your child and don't give him that time that he has to indulge in such kind of activities. If you set a routine and if your routine is busy, what is the basic aim in the life of a child?
Just
being involved in
exactly.
activities, enjoy his life and education. He doesn't have the burden of earning money for the family or doing any household chores.
Absolutely.
So you plan your child's activities and you plan your activities, your hobbies also, so that the child looks at you and he also does the same thing. Because we learn from our surroundings. So what we see, that's what we do. So if we want our children to have good habits, first we need to develop those good habits.
Absolutely. So with time, you might have observed that in our society, the open spaces where we used to go and play the outdoor activities, outdoor plays, have become very limited nowadays or become very smaller in size. And children are not getting that kind of space. Maybe like few of them complain that they don't have space to play. They don't have things to go around and do things. So how you think what a student or a parent could do, to get involved in those things again? Like if we talk about the COVID times, like I was very upset to see that all the playgrounds were empty and all the students were on their phone playing some online game. So what do you think, like how we should get back our students and our children on the ground? Because I feel that physical activities carry a lot of importance to our health and our body. So how you think that parents, what kind of things parents could do or should do that could get back their child on the field and, get involved in such activities where they are communicating with others and not getting isolated with their mobile phones?
When you talked about COVID, I just recalled one thing. During COVID time, we all know about Milkha Singh.
Absolutely.
He is fitness freak.
Absolutely.
And his entire family used to have workout at home.
Okay. Nice.
See, what did I say? What we do, our children are going to do the same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
So why did you give tab or phone to the child? You could sit with the child, read the book, or you could climb the stairs. You could use your terrace for different activities. So it depends upon us. And moreover, see, all the schools have playgrounds. So as I told you, it's a collaboration. So the school can open those grounds in the evening for the student. They will have enough space to play. So
I think this is a nice suggestion for the education department as well to,
we need to manage things.
Because I think school playgrounds are empty in the evening, so
We are using it.
Oh, nice. So you open can you elaborate what you do?
Like we have sports teachers, and for our school students, it's free. In the evening they come, they opt for the 5 to 6 games which we are training them in. So they can come and have coaching in the evening.
Okay. And they are how are they?
They are enjoying and their parents are also happy.
Oh,
it keeps them fit.
So is it have you changed? Have you observed the change in their body language, in their education, and in their overall development of the brain?
Education I would not see, but yes, body language, their fitness, that has improved.
And has the discipline come into their life? Which it's a start of a new journey. Okay, so it's a nice thing.
Many factors play an important role in that.
Absolutely. So we talked about a lot of things which parents can do, but with social media, we have observed that a lot of teachers are getting connected with students at a very early age where they shouldn't maybe get connected. We didn't had social media to connect with our teachers. We never had a thing we had a certain image of a teacher, and that used to always stay there. We know a particular teacher and they know us as a student. But with social media, students have access to know more about a teacher and getting connected with them on maybe a personal level or something. So how you feel what teachers should do and keep there is a certain distance which always remains between a teacher and a student. So how you think in the age of social media where everyone is getting connected with everyone so easily, what steps or things teachers should keep in mind when they are interacting with the students regarding this in the perspective of social media?
See, when we talk about society, there are norms, and in every relationship there is some gap. There are certain norms that we need to follow. So, and when we talk about not being a teacher but being a human being, first of all we need to see that what kind of image are we portraying? How do we want people to know us? And when you are in a position where you shape minds of young children, you need to be more careful. So why do we want our personal life to become so open? So it is our values that tells us what is good, what is bad, how far we need to go, what kind of things should be there on our social medias. And it is the responsibility of a teacher to be responsible, to maintain the decorum of the profession, and students look upon you. They find mentors and teachers. So as a mentor, you need to know what is good, what is bad, So, of course, teachers should maintain distance. It is not that they should not be in touch with them or should not use social media or any social media platform. They should use, but they should be cautious.
So now, like, you are sitting on an administrative seat. So are there things which you also tell your teachers, or some training kind of thing which happens in your school for the teachers with the change of generation? I'm sure there must be some developments happening in the school administrative and how you are teaching the students. So what changes you feel that you are doing in your school for the students and for the teachers as well to become better at what they are doing?
See, basically, if I talk about my school, our teachers are very much connected with the parents of a child. So a class teacher makes calls to the parents also. Daily she calls 3 to 4 parents. So in a month, at least once, she talks to the parents. And she informs the parents about all the habits of the student, not only academics, but his eating habits also, or any kind of behavioral changes. So teachers do discuss with the parents. And even if we find something on the social media, we even discuss those things with the parents. So teachers act in a very cautious manner. We do not want to hurt anyone's sentiment. And what they do outside the school, whether it's a teacher or a child, we cannot say much about it. But of course, we do have certain guidelines for the teachers also, like what kind of pictures you are posting, what comments you are giving. So that, of course, the teachers have to keep in mind.
Okay. So that's how the changes, we need to be conscious about things a lot. I agree completely. So what do you feel the new generation is thinking about the future, and how serious are they about their career? What do you feel there is, like, at our age, there was certain way of approaching our career, our dreams. We were thinking in a certain way. How you think that thought process has changed with the generation? Like the today's generation is called Gen Z, if I am not wrong. So how do you think they approach their career, and what is the difference between how a Gen Z approaches towards their career and what the earlier generation used to?
See, we have all kind of students.
Absolutely.
So we cannot categorize that they all are very eager or they all are very interested in the professions. Mostly what we have family and society pressure also. So till that comes down, I don't think students are that independent to opt for careers or to pursue their passions. So that I still find a bit lacking. Parents need to know the aptitude and attitude of their child, and they should let them pursue their dreams. So that is very essential. But of course, there are a few students who are very focused. They know what they want and they are pursuing their dreams. And they are very focused, they are working on it. That is good, but there are a section of students whom I think they are under the pressure. So that we need to check. And now, as we all know, that tuition centers are more coming up. And that is a very big concern, because we know the number of seats and number of students opting for medical or engineering. So that becomes quite alarming.
A lot of competition is coming up.
Competition is good, but it is creating a lot of pressure.
Okay, on every student. So how you think a student should deal with the pressure? Like, because they have a certain pressure from their parents, they have certain expectations towards their family, they have certain expectations from teachers as well. How you think a student should tackle with a lot of things at once?
Why should we have such expectations from our children?
Absolutely.
Let them lead their life.
I agree.
Give them open space. Provide them with the opportunities. That is what we are here for. Not limiting them, not pressurizing them, or not putting our desires on them. We should not do it. So again, see, collectively we have to work for it. So we should not pressurize students first of all. We, as a teacher, we need to clear the concept. We need to let the child decide what he wants to be, what activity he is interested in. We should give opportunity for him to participate, to indulge in different kinds of activities, and to know about various aspects of life. And then let the child decide. we should not pressurize. So when we are putting that pressure, so the child is getting pressurized. So if we take away that pressure, let the child relax, that will be much better.
Right. So in the age of internet, like access to information has become very easy. So how you think, what kind of content should be, what changes you feel have been done in the content which is reaching the students, the kids, through schools, through books, or through the internet? Like do you feel ki there has a thing was taught in a certain way beforehand, but now the ways have changed. The way we are representing our content has changed. So what is that change which has come with the generation? What do you feel?
First, it was teacher-centric teaching. Teacher used to come in the class, deliver the lecture, very less number of activities or very less practical implementation or real-life examples. Now we are giving more real-life examples, more hand-on experiences. So that has helped the child to learn better. So those things are good for the child. And of course, technology is helping us. What kind of content? See, we cannot restrict it.
Absolutely.
If the school is not providing, the child will have access from somewhere else. So we need to teach a child that whatever you are reading is not true. You need to tell your child that how you can check the authenticity of the material. So if we teach these things to the children, then the things will not be in such a condition.
Like beforehand, I feel that there were a lot of, like in our generation, I used to feel that students were often told by their parents or by some of their teachers that what knowledge they are giving to them is the ultimate truth. And other than that, there is nothing true. But then as we grow up, we realize there were a lot of things which were not true and which were not correct to learn. So, but today's generation is more open to a lot of things. So how you feel the approach has changed to that kind of content? What kind of things we are doing to, make our students more curious about things and give them the power to ask the question. Even if I am like before, and we used to learn from our parents that we shouldn't question a lot of things which they are teaching us, or we shouldn't question our teachers what they are teaching, or we shouldn't question our books what they have written. But now that questioning thing, that curiosity in students, how you think that thing can be ignited more in the students, that they ask a lot more compared to what previous generation used to ask?
So it should be student-centric education. So the teacher needs to be well versed in the subject. If teachers knows her subject, then there is no problem. She can answer any question. And moreover, the class should be more interactive. If the class is more interactive, you give more opportunity to the student to ask. It means you are clearing the doubts. And the child is able to relate to the real world. So the child needs to relate to the real world and the concepts need to be clear. So if we give them activities, see, when we are teaching a chapter, it is not that the teacher comes in the class and explains the chapter. There are certain chapters in which you can assign a pre-activity and which the child would know how to do. You can give the parameters also on what those rubrics will be on which you will judge their activity, and it is related to the chapter, so they will know what they are going to learn in that chapter. So it is not that everything the teacher has to teach by his own way. We have to provide an opportunity to the child also to learn by himself. So it will make the child more confident, and when he is exploring the things, more questions will come to his mind. So we should give more activities, more projects, wherever possible. It's not that all subjects or every subject matter would require an activity, but where possible we should provide.
Okay, that I think will help a lot. So as a teacher, you might be facing few things which you wanted to change, but you couldn't. And now since you are running the whole school and you are running the administration, you feel, what kind of things you feel you have implemented which you always wanted to implement as a teacher but couldn't, and now since you are laying the path of alignment for the students, you are able to do those things. So were there any things which you have started, and what more you have, you must be planning something with the things. So what kind of plans or things you have been doing and have planned to do to make your education a better place?
One thing is activities. We tell the teachers to prepare any activity for any subject matter. But what happens when we come to the implementation? Time is less, or you don't have space, or it would create indiscipline. So because of these things, sometimes we tend to neglect those activities. But I encourage the teachers to take on those activities. If you need space, you can use the school hall, you can use the school ground, but activities should be carried out. So that is very much essential for the growth of a child. Second important thing is that trips, day feeds, they are also very important, but we restrict them also because of lack of resource or time, or sometimes the weather doesn't permit. So it happens, but we need to pre-plan these things. So co-curricular activities also need to be planned properly. So what range of activities we are taking. So just not picking activity for the sake of it, but what will be the objective and what will be the outcome, that needs to be kept in mind. So planning of the activities, that is very essential, and that we are really working on.
So as a principal, you might be having a lot of things which gives you stress. As a curious student, I want to always understand, like, what are the things which makes a principal stress? Because we as a student always had a certain image of principal, and we were, a kind of scared, or more scared, I would say, from the principal. Like with the teacher, we might be having some good bonding as a student. But when it comes to the principal, we were always like, oh, it's principal ma'am, principal sir, so we need to make a certain distance. So how you are dealing with that distance, and how you are trying to, decrease that space between the student and a principal?
And the good thing is that my students approach me very easily.
Okay.
I'm quite accessible to my teachers as well as to my students. Of course, I am firm, but I am accessible to them, and they do come up with their problems to me. So in this area, I don't find any difference.
Okay. So what do you feel as a principal, as an accessible principal who is open to listening and interacting with the students? What difference you have created which a lot of, I would say, principals couldn't do in their times?
Sometimes what happens is that we genuinely need to understand their problems. See, they might come up with a very silly thing, but we need to listen. That is the key. If you listen to a child or to a teacher, because they want themselves to be heard. So hear them out. First hear them, and then rationally explain them whether it is possible or not. So they'll accept that. But if you straight away say no, and if you are rude, then that will not provide you a good rapport with your students or teachers. So that is one thing. I think we need to be empathetic, we need to be patient, and we should be a good listener. So when we can give reasons and we can satisfy them, then why do we just be strict and say no? Be firm, but listen to them, because everyone wants to be heard. So listening, it doesn't take much time. So we are there for the students. So rest activities we can do later on, but there we are for the student. So listen to them, so they'll feel that they are being heard and somebody is there to look after them. So this is one area where I feel comfortable.
I hope all the teachers are listening to these things, understanding, because I felt that as a student, this was something which we were expecting, but we didn't get it from a lot of teachers. And so just final thing, if I ask you, what are the 3 things you would like to tell the students of today they should do more to be less distracting and be more disciplined in their life and become better at what they are doing?
See, this is the best time of their life. So take as much as possible from your teachers.
Okay.
And respect your teachers and your elders, your family members. What they are saying has some essence in it. Listen to them. You can talk to them. It is not that you have to argue with them. But when we sit, we talk, we find solutions. So have a good rapport with the teachers and your family members. Utilize this time judiciously. It will not come back. So don't neglect your studies. Don't neglect your passions and your activities or hobbies. Do pursue any one hobby that will help you in utilizing your free time.
I think that's a great advice for the students as well as for the teachers. And I feel jealous that I'm not in your school. I wish I had a principal like you. And thank you so much for taking time with us. And I hope more practical things and understanding comes up with the students and the teachers. And thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.